Here we are again. Let's try to do this sometimes. All right, so we're going to try Wing Commander 3. We'll change. I did one of these already with Wing Commander, but I felt that the video quality was really terrible. And I changed setup since then. It was a while ago, and I think I need to redo it. So, and I only got like an hour into the game anyway, so it wasn't the best. So I'm going to start over here, and we're going to redo it. But I'm playing on a Mac, and it is compatible with the Mac. So I'm playing on GOG, and we're going to go into it. And I've got my little cheap Logitech joystick here to play the game. Can't play it without it. You can, but I mean, not preferable. I'm going to cut all this anyway from the final video. Um, so, and I have a different beer this time. It's a Celebration Sierra Nevada. Only around once a year, so got to take advantage of that. Okay. Before we get into this, there's one thing I'm going to record. One thing I'm going to talk about here is this whole gas stove nonsense. So I found this article here, and there's a bunch of different articles around. This one is from Forbes, but there's a bunch of different ones. There's right wing, there's left wing, whatever. Both sides of it, I've heard a bunch of different people talk about it, and for the most part, both the right and the left are just ridiculous. The right is extremely ridiculous, talking, oh, they're coming for your gas stoves. That's not happening. Even down here, I was reading you know, yes, it could be a ban, but they're trying to figure out ways to regulate gas stoves. So, right here, drastically improving emissions or banning gas stoves entirely. And it says, I ought to keep the possibility of a ban in mind because it's a powerful tool in our belt and it's a real possibility here. Possibly, but it's banning gas stoves. If they do that, that usually just means that they're not going to put it in new construction, or somebody maybe eventually they'd stop production of the stove and you can't buy one and put it in a new house. But if your house is already outfitted for gas, you're going to have to change that. And for some people, I just both the right and the left have terrible takes. The right take is just, oh, they're coming for my gas stove and that's it, and I don't want them to keep it for my, somebody said you have to pry it for my cold dead hands or some stupid thing like that. And then the left is just kind of like, but the health concerns, the um the climate and all of that stuff, while valid points, I just think that it's, you know, that's they're missing the big picture here. Now, right here, the commissioner, Rich Trumka Jr., whatever, said, thanks for your interest. To be clear, the CPSC isn't coming for anyone's stoves. Regulations apply to new products. So again, these are new products. So if anybody has a gas stove, for Americans who choose to switch from gas to electric, there is support available. Congress passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which includes an $840 rebate. Now, that the problem with this barely pays for an introductory like new electric or gas or induction gas stove. Now, inductions are different than a regular electric. They're not just the glass top electrics, which are terrible. They're anybody who cooks frequently. I cook all the time. I have a gas stove. I'm a little biased, but anybody that cooks frequently can tell you that a gas stove is so much better than cooking on an electric. It's faster, it's easier. The burners cool down immediately when you turn it off, and you can move pots and pans around. You can use almost any type of pot and pan. If you have a glass top surface, you have to have a specific type of pan. It has to be flat on the bottom or it's not going to work. And with these induction stoves, not only do they have to be flat on the bottom, they have to be the the proper type. The way to tell is take a magnet, put it on the bottom of your pot. If the magnet if the magnet doesn't stick, then it's not going to work on an induction stove. It'll work on an electric, a coil or glass top, but it's not going to work on an induction. So there's a hidden cost there. Not only do you have to rework wire your entire house from gas to electric, that's putting in a 50 amp plug for your stove, which might already be there, um, but also running the 4 to 6 gauge wire that's required. That it's not cheap. Putting a 50 amp circuit in the circuit breaker, that's also not cheap. Hiring somebody to do all this, not cheap. That $840 is a drop in the bucket compared to what's probably going to end up being a $2,000 job. So you want to talk about people not having money for a $1,000 emergency, they're not going to be able to do anything like this to make the conversion. Again, this says new products. So eventually people won't be able to buy gas stoves over the period of a period of time. So it's different than just like banning it and you have to get rid of it. That's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. But anybody who's never doesn't cook it that says, "Oh, electric gas, what's the difference?" You obviously don't cook. You obviously don't. You probably eat fast food and you think it's great. Fine. If that's what you like, that's fine. But if you want to talk about health concerns and you're eating fast food, it's like, come on. I wouldn't exactly um, say that McDonald's is any safer than cooking on a gas stove. But then you have, but the left is just they're just ignoring the extra cost that's involved there, which is all the pots and pans, the wiring, the whole 9 yards to switch something over. Now, again, this applies to new products, not people who currently have gas stoves. But if you have again, down the line, if you have a gas stove set up in your house, you're not going to be able to change it. You're not going to be able to get, sorry, you're not going to be able, if you have a gas stove already in your house and and something happens and you want to replace it, you're not going to be able to. You're going to have to switch to electric, which is going to cost even more in the future down the line. And I've heard some people compare it to, oh, well, we've banned lead in gasoline and lead line refrigerators and freon and in air conditioners and whatnot and cars and that sort of thing. Well, yeah, but that change didn't affect anybody's bottom line. You you switch to you when you buy a new fridge and it's not lead lined, or you start using paint that doesn't have lead in it, or switch, there's no longer lead in the gasoline. That doesn't affect the average consumer. Having a gas stove is not only affecting the wallet of the average consumer, it's also affecting um, the way you cook and the way you're used to cooking, and switching out everything and completely having a different method. I'm not saying it wouldn't be bad. Induction stoves do sound pretty cool. Um, I'm not saying it wouldn't be bad. Induction stoves do sound pretty cool, but I mean, I've never cooked on one. I am interested. But again, that's an extra expense I'm not willing to fork out right now, and a lot of people aren't willing to. And even down the road, if something happens with my gas stove, it's like it's more than just replacing the gas stove. I got to do all of this other stuff. So it's just a point that I think both the right and the left just aren't. They're not talking about it. The right's just concerned big government's coming to take over my stuff, and the left is just the health concerns, the environment, this and that, and I, I'm if if you're on the left and you've concerned, or if you're on the right, or and if you're on the right or the left and you have brought up the financial concerns, then good for you. But a lot of people I just haven't. They just completely brushed over it and ignored it, which kind of shows a little bit from, and these are political commentators online that have just kind of ignored it, and it kind of shows a little bit that, well, the reason why you haven't brought it up is because the financial concerns aren't a big deal to you. You probably $2,000 is chump change. So, but to the average person, they just end up with what's in their home, and it's in their apartment. They're not really actively choosing a place because of the stove that they have, obviously. But yeah, that's kind of my take. I think that the whole thing is obviously ridiculous. What is this? Who's this? Gary Palmer. Over 40 million Americans households use gas stove. This type of power should never have been given to unelected bureaucrats, and it is time for it to end. Again, this is dumb because it says right here, for Americans who choose to switch from gas to electric, they're supported. Whoops. Whoa, 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 whoa. Twitter. Oh, oh, I can't click on it. Takes you over there. Anyway, again, this is to be clear, CPSC isn't coming for anyone's gas stoves. Regulations apply to new products. Very clear. So people who are on the right who are outraged that they're going to take your gas stove, it's just calm down. It's ridiculous. People on the left, just be concerned about don't be too flippant about it. There is a financial concern there, a realistic one, even down the road. Even down the road, if somebody's forced to, say their gas stove, they do ban it, right? They ban new products. And then 5 years from now, somebody's gas stoves dies and they have to get a new stove. All right, that's a huge expense. So if you do have a gas stove and it does get banned, start saving now because you're going to need the money to be able to switch over. It's not something that the government's going to completely help you. Again, the $840 rebate is going to buy you an introductory basic electric or induction stove. And that's now. Who knows what it's going to be 5 years from now? So anyway, that's my take on that crap. All right, so that's the segment. So start from the beginning, and we stopped that at 17 minutes. So that's good. It's like a 15-minute segment. We'll get to, let's do the Wing Commander. All right, so this is kind of an experiment here. We'll see. The game, when I was trying it out the other day, is super loud. So I don't even know if it's going to work very well. So I'm going to turn the desktop volume down to about halfway and see if that helps. Still be loud to me, but at least for everybody else. There's other games here too. But anyway. Yeah. Oh. Oh. I haven't done that yet. I think because it updated. That's weird. Oh, there. Oh, it wasn't listed. Doo doo doo. Okay, come on. All right. Let's see if that does anything. Here we go. DOSBox on a Mac. Yeah, the video quality is not the greatest. Not good. Hoping it clears up. This. This is terrible. All right. You know what we're going to do? We're still going to do this, but we're going to try it a different way. I'm going to go into my shadow and I am going to start recording again on another thing. So at least I'll have that as a separate segment. GOG Galaxy, for whatever reason, doesn't work with the Shadow. It should. It does. It's just a Windows 10 machine. But every time I try to download it, I haven't tried to download it since the update of Shadow. Maybe it'll work now. You can still download and install the game. You just have to do it manually. Mm, my God. All right. It's just running it on PC versus um, um, Mac. Does not run very well on the Mac, too. And so bear with me. Nobody's watching anyway, so it doesn't matter. We are going to, we're going to have to, how much space do I have left? Oh, wow. I don't know if I'll be able to fit it. The whole gig for this game. It's like 1.80 gig, I believe, for Wing Commander 3. I might be able to adjust the volume. I'll have a little bit more control. I'll be able to see my OBS at least. Couldn't do that. The Mac was like shutting off the other screen. I couldn't even see anything. Anyway. All right. God Galaxy. Let's try. Wait, I didn't want that. No. How do I download it? There. I don't want support. Okay. No, that's support. God Galaxy. Ooh. God Galaxy 2.0 beta requires Windows 8 or newer. Okay. So when I tried this last time, still in beta? Jesus. Oh, it just, yeah, this is what happens. It goes, whatever. So, in order to play the game, I have to just sign in. Oh boy. Should have done all this crap before. I didn't realize it was going to be so bad on the Mac. Hmm. Come on. There we go. Something's on sale? No, I already bought it. Yeah, I've always had this issue with this game. Oh, crap. You know what I didn't do? I didn't forward my. I'll have to sign out. I didn't forward my joystick to the thing. I'm pretty sure it didn't recognize it. Let's take a look. Game Controllers. Yep, it's not there. I didn't think so. All right. Well, anyway, it's going to take a minute. So bear with this. Ooh, we could play something else. We don't have to play this, but I've already put the thumbnail up. But it doesn't matter because the stream's going to get deleted, and unless somebody joins me, it's not going to matter. Okay. Download offline backup. There we go. Oi. Well, in the meantime, let's do something else. Play something else while this is downloading. It's only going to be a minute anyway. Could talk about some other stupid thing. I don't know. Let's see.
Have you considered going solar in Rhode Island? Options.
Oh boy. Successfully installed. Launch. Is this going to go into the game, or are we going to be able to do a setup? I've done this before. Doesn't do anything. Okay. Options. Yeah, fix it. Did it. Yeah, exit setup. Because the first thing we're going to do is you got to do these DOS settings, key, da 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 da. This is the only way to get the this set card channel MIDI. Yep, that's all I care about. Let's see if it works. Looks like it works. Alright, so we're gonna get out of this. So a couple of those little pops and things, we should be able to fix some of that. Graphic mode setup. Direct draw. We want to do OpenGL. Go here, normal scaling engine. Let's do that. See? Put this at 20, 1080. Keep the aspect ratio. Save the settings. Let's see if that did anything. Not really. Well, let's see if it actually did anything with the game itself. At least for me it is. So I should be able to turn down the volume here. I can turn desktop volume back up here. I can turn this down by half at least. So we need to go to, oh boy, GOG Games, Wing Commander 3, Wing Commander config. Is this the one? I think this is the one. Nope. Nope. DOSBox config. It's this one, I think. Yeah, this is the one. So I know with this, I have to go true, 1080p, OpenGL. Okay, we're already set there. Notes here on what needs to change. Good there. And then frame skip. I don't know. I don't think that matters too much, but the aspect I think should be true. Let's see. Frame skip should be true. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do something else here. There's another thing. Core needs to be set to dynamic. I'm going to have to make this fixed 50,000. I think. Yeah. Make these 10,000 each. The rate should be, yeah, we'll fix this. 4,800. 800. This needs to go up. Block size 2, and then we need to make this pre-buffer at 25. We need to do 10%. Yeah, I mean, you're talking a game from 1994. All right. Here we go again with this. Looks like it's another 44, 1, 48. PC rate. Oh my God. Yeah, if this stuff isn't the same across the board, you probably get all the clipping. Maybe that's why it was clipping Disney. True. What? All right, let's see if that works. If that doesn't work, I'll switch this back. But let's see if that. Better. Not still not perfect, but better. I'm still gonna turn it down a little bit. It's still incredibly loud. That's a little better. All right, we're gonna skip this. Yeah. So we're just gonna go through. I think I went through quite a bit. I went through like an hour of the game before, so I can't. We're gonna have to start over. But to get all this, I'm just gonna get out of it. Oh, wrong button. I can never remember what the GOG keyboard to get DOSBox to go big again. I can never remember that. Anyway. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to fix my joystick problem anyway. Oh, let's see if this even works. All right, let's see if this works. If this, it may not because it's a Mac. Maybe. We'll see. Didn't work. It is on. It is plugged in, right? Yeah, it's plugged in, but unfortunately, yeah, it doesn't. Damn. Well, that sucks. So it looks like. Let me try quitting this. Let me try fixing that. Um, Computer system library. I was in it the other night. That's no, that's there, but let's try searching for it. Uh, let's try DOS box. I was just in it too the other day too. This is really irritating. Wait a minute. Aha. Aspect true. That should be true. Oops. True. Cycles fixed 15,000, 10,000, blah, blah, blah. Buffer 100. So it's even higher. All right. Don't remember where I found that, but either way, let's go back into this. Let's try it again. See if it fixed anything. Probably not, but actually, wow, it did. Whoa. Oh, what happened there? All right. Let's just turn it down a little bit more. Ah, crap. All right, since we keep going back and forth with this. Oh, hear that reverb? That's nice. Okay, so that looked pretty good level-wise. I just heard that going up there. So that's pretty decent. That should be fine. All right, so we should be good. So I'm going to let this play. As a matter of fact, we're going to do desktop only. I'm going to keep this about here. I'm going to start this. Wing Commander 3.
contingent of their soldiers has been captured here on Kilra.
This incursion was an act of desperation. The hairless apes now flail about knowing that they are beaten. They have failed their race utterly. There will be no interrogation.
Do what you will with them.
Disintegration. Silence. My brethren, they are not warriors, but maggots. Only one of them is worthy of being treated as a warrior. The one they call Angel. Still defiant, Dagger. If we were to offer coexistence with your kind, would you not accept it?
The Kilrati do not coexist.
No, and now that the tide has turned in this war, your defiance is a pathetic and useless gesture.
You bore me, monsieur. Disintegrate me so I might join my comrades.
Disintegration is not for you. Your fate will be different. The human cannot appreciate the honor that I am about to bestow her. She is not only a great warrior, but her lair mate is the heart of the tiger.
May they rest in peace.
Peace. Have we ever known anything like that, Paladin?
Not for a long time, laddie.
First the tiger's claw, now this.
Enough. You are not to blame for either.
Some would disagree. This is Colonel Christopher Blair. Report to Admiral Tallwin. The wreckage of the Concordia has been located on Vespus off the Mistral coast. Evaluation. Total loss.
You can't live your life for the approval of one man.
Any word from Angel?
None.
Is that the official line?
I know how much she means to you, laddie.
Excuse me, sir. Did you say the victory?
Is there something wrong with your hearing, Colonel?
No, sir. It's just that
The TCS Victory is a fine carrier with a long history of service to the Confederation.
Yes, sir. A very long history, sir.
Ship assignments aren't open to debate, Colonel. Of course, I realize that the accommodations may not be what you're quite used to.
Well, sir, I didn't mean to suggest that.
The Victory will benefit greatly from having a wing commander of your stature and experience.
Thank you, sir. But can't we at least discuss the...
Now that we have the Kilrathi on the run in both the Gardel and Morpheus systems, I can afford to shift you to the Victory in Orsini. What I am trying to tell you that things are looking up. The Confederation has been making some very positive strides. Dismissed.
Sir, about my request.
Yes. But it came as a bit of a surprise to me. As you know, Colonel Devereaux's status is on a need-to-know basis. Your shuttle is waiting.
Yes, sir.
Despite recent losses in several densely populated sectors, Confederation spokespeople insist that humanity maintains the upper hand in its galactic struggle with the Karathi. However, our sources document a consistent underreporting of Karathi incursions, as well as civilian and industrial losses. There are even reports of Confed plans for a doomsday evacuation of Earth, replanting the seeds of humanity in a distant galaxy. The question is, who would go? Who would be left behind? And most importantly, who is making these decisions?
Welcome to the TCS Victory, Colonel.
Thank you, Captain.
Better known as Tin Can Sally.
It warms my heart to see you again, Colonel. But I must excuse myself now, as your duty here takes precedence over our catching up on old times.
Thank you, Hobbs. We'll talk later.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. She's no Concordia.
Well, neither's a Concordia anymore.
Yes, terrible loss. My sympathies. However, you're in my home now, and I'll expect you to wipe your feet every time you come in. I've been with the Victory most of my career. I was communications officer during a maiden voyage.
Well, sir, I'll admit I wasn't looking forward to the assignment, but now that I see you have a pilot as fine as Ralganar Hollis on your crew...
Hobbs? Yes, he's my second in command.
He's not flying?
At his request. I know all about his exploits with you, Colonel, but here no one will fly with a Karathi on his wing.
What about his exemplary record? That must stand for something.
It was his request.
Captain Eisen, I'm not going to tell you how to run your ship, but I am going to insist that Hobbs is reinstated to the flight roster immediately.
Well, that's admirable, Colonel, but who...
I will, sir. I'll fly with him. He's the best wingman I've ever had.
Welcome aboard, old friend. You're looking fine and fit. Does this war agree with you?
Yeah, like a pair of busted wing flaps. But it's great to see you, buddy.
And how is the fine pilot and Comrade Angel?
I don't have a clue. I haven't heard from her in a while. She's on some damn covert op for Tolwyn. But hey, I got good news for you. I put you back on the fly roster.
But I requested...
Never mind that. I want you with me on my first mission.
Well, a capable pilots here.
Yeah, but when my life's on the line, I want a wingman I can trust.
I shall try not to disappoint you, old friend.
Whoops. There we go. Nope, that's the wrong too. There we go. That's the right one. Okay. So I screwed up. I forgot to, I did that already. But anyway, I'm going to stop the recording there. And then we'll do another recording here in a minute. And now that I have my video up, I can start it all over. It's great. I can just cut and paste whatever. But I'll have my video going this time. Wait a minute. Did I start recording? I didn't. Okay. Now we got it. I'm doing a recording. I'm recording it so I can upload the video of me playing of this later, because I tried just downloading the stream and the quality sucks. So downside with all this, I cannot see the OBS, but I assume it's working. So my little face down on the corner. Brawling our hollows. This guy's an LA Noire, by the way.
Lieutenant Rollins, comm exec, welcome aboard. You get the pep talk from the captain yet?
Something like that.
Well, the good news is it won't take too long to shower off the bullshit around here.
Captain Eisen seems to believe in his ship and his crew. And that kind of attitude's good for morale.
Yeah, well, you haven't been monitoring transmissions like I have. If you did, you'd jump sector in a nano.
Play along with him.
This guy's a loon.
This guy's a loon.
Huh?
Play along with him. Are you saying Command's hiding something from us?
Well, I can't say for sure, Colonel. But if you want the straight dope around here, you check in with Radio Rollins. Might even save your life.
I've played it a few times. I'll do one. One transition, one time, and that's it. I'm not doing it over and over. Skip them. Oh, here we go.
Hey, Hobbs. How about going around with me? Bet you a week's pay on one hand.
Thank you. No.
Vagabond. This guy played the Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2, The Secret of the Ooze, by the way. Not that you'd ever know. So he had a mask on. Oops, the door keeps opening and closing. Zero.
Welcome aboard, sir. You want to play a hand? Since you're the rookie on this boat, I'll let you call the game.
Not much for protocol, are you?
No, formalities tend to be forgotten when you spend most of your time just trying to survive. What little spare time we do have, we fill up with other things besides practicing our salutes.
Well, I guess you have to adapt to your surroundings.
Don't I know that? It's an art, really.
No wonder they call you Vagabond.
Been doing your homework, I see. Yeah, I've knocked around some.
And yet your combat file is surprisingly brief. What's with the big gaps in your bio?
Can I help help it if Confed decides to blank my data?
He's got a point. What's he hiding? He's got a point.
In this one, in Wing Commander 3, the top choice is, for the most part, usually the best option. That's like the good one. That's the other one's the bad one. Nice guy, bad guy. That's pretty much as deep as it gets. Wing Commander 4, they reverse it every time you play. You never know whether it's going to be on the top or the bottom. I think it always reverses it all the time, or it's always on the top and the bottom, but you don't know whether the top and the bottom is the good or the bad. It's one of those two things, but like this is pretty fixed the entire way through.
Sometimes HQ is as big a mystery to me as the enemy.
We got a lot of good people here, Colonel. Even those of us with incomplete bios. Just give us a chance.
General Mitty. Something you don't hear much anymore. You know, it's just all triggers, right? I mean, you could go back. If you could get the MIDI files, you could go back and like really like take this and really redo everything. Maybe there's a way to do it. Do I have to watch this thing? Ugh. I guess for completion's sake.
Hello, mon ami. I hope the fight goes well for you and all the others on the Concordia. I'm about to set up for a covert operation with Admiral Tolwyn, so I'm afraid we might be apart a little longer. But always remember, je t'aime. I love you.
27th century sucks. What is this supposed to be, like 26 something, 60 something, 70 something? I don't know. I think 2650 something. Because, yeah, Wing Commander 4 takes place, like, I don't know, several, like, in the 2670s, I think. Something like, I don't know. It's all made up. All right, I'm skipping the transition. And of course, Biff from Back to the Future.
No, I don't have anything better to do, okay? So I pulled into a tight loop, locked onto that cat's tail, fired off a heat seeker, boom! Turned him into kitty litter. It was a... All right. Well, well. If it isn't the Colonel. I'm sorry. I couldn't make your welcoming party.
Well, I guess you had more pressing maneuvers to undertake, Maniac.
When duty calls, I'm there. Women like the smell of success.
You know, I'm surprised you haven't been blown out of the sky by now, Maniac. By friendly fire.
Some people appreciate my flying style. I do what's necessary to win, okay? Suppose you're still flying with one eye on the regs manual?
I don't take stupid risks.
Yeah, speaking of stupid, I also heard you put Hobbs back on the flight roster?
My. Word travels fast on this tub.
Never understood what you saw in that cat.
Simple. I need a wingman I can count on.
You can't trust someone who will kill their own kind.
Who I choose as my wingman is my prerogative. It's privilege of rank.
I'll bet you stay up late nights just polishing it, huh?
No, as a matter of fact, I have majors who do that for me.
The difference in our rank is a formality. We both know who's better in the cockpit.
Yeah, we do.
Let me tell you that story again.
So cheesy. But, you know.
Colonel Blair, report to the briefing room immediately. Colonel Blair, report to the briefing room immediately.
And when this game came out, all those transitions were so cool till you played it for a while, and you're like, ugh. And it was like, oh, you can turn them off. And you can, right here, under, where is it? Transitions, turn them off. But, yeah. So, we're going to turn them off. Stars. Why would you want to turn that off? I guess back in the day, you know, when this game came out, the average person, if they had a computer, it was a 486 or a 386. This recommended a Pentium processor, which was, whoa, that was a huge deal back then. But most computers, you could, if you had a 486, usually you could upgrade them to a Pentium processor, which is what we ended up doing. I think we could upgrade to a Pentium 2. The chipset allowed you to do that. And then you have to, for Wing Commander 4, this is back in like 95, when you had to have the game required you to have a 4x CD-ROM. Back then they had CD-ROM speeds that mattered. Now it's all like 56x or 52x or whatever. But now it doesn't even matter. Nobody even has CDs anymore, or DVDs. But back then it mattered. Anyway.
Come in, Colonel. Time to put that reputation of yours to the test. Confed intelligence tells us that the Karathi presence is growing here in the Orsini system. You and your wingmen are to fly routine patrol of these 3 zones, sweep the area of any hostiles you may encounter. Understood?
Completely, sir. So, these are the mission objectives. Oh, and one last thing.
Who am I gonna pick?
Hobbs, you're on my wing for this one. Dismissed, and good luck.
Also the same sequence over and over again. Eventually this chair, as you can tell, it's kind of cut out. You'll notice like somewhere they start getting stacked on top of each other, like somebody, they didn't, I don't know. You'll see later.
Chief Tech Rachel Coriolis, welcome to the victory, Colonel. Heard you're flying with Hobbs on this one.
You got a problem with that, Chief?
No, sir, not at all. I think it's about time. That cat's one hell of a pilot. Here she is, one Hellcat 5. She's prepped, primed, loaded, locked, and ready to kick some ass.
Thanks. What about ordnance?
It's all taken care of. The captain downloads the mission specs to me. I dope out the weapons requirements, so you're set to go.
Oh yeah?
In the future, Colonel, you have the option of choosing your own weapons. Or you can trust my judgment and fly with my default loadout. I promise, Colonel, never to disappoint.
Jeezy. But hey, yeah, this, what was I gonna say? It's like the longest. The beginning, after this, everything kind of slows down. There's like 1 or 2 sequences per mission. In the beginning, of course, they get you roped in. Or back then, the full motion video disease of video games back then. But today, not today, but back then, this game was like revolutionary. To be able to click on stuff and move around in this world. Remember, the average game for a PC, you had console games. You had Super Mario Brothers. It was 94, so PlayStation, the original PlayStation came out. Eventually, this game was released on the PlayStation, but originally this game only came out on the PC and the 3DO, the Panasonic 3DO system. And I thought the 3DO version was better, and I went back and looked at it, and the video sequences look a little bit better, but the actual like space combat part of the PC's still the best. It's closer to the PlayStation version, but the actual PlayStation version of the game, I think the video sequences do look a lot better. They're not as pixelated, as weird like pixelation that happens in this game. Anyway, let's do the sequence. so loud. Turn it down here, at least for me. I'm gonna keep the HUD up. I don't know how to turn it off in the Mac. Like if I press the button to turn it off, it won't go off. But I don't want to torture myself. Oh, it's already on rookie. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna make it invulnerable, should I? I have beat this game on Ace when I first played it because I didn't even know you could get to this menu. But I don't know what this is. Anyway, cut that out.
Break and attack.
Engage an enemy now.
Also in the 3DO, and I think the PlayStation, well, definitely the PlayStation, the little bottom left-hand corner videos of the pilots is in color as opposed to green, but whatever. The biggest turnoff for the PlayStation version, you can't use a joystick unless you bought the PlayStation joystick, which I did actually have it, but it sucks because it's very mechanical. It's like click, click, click left, click right, click up, so it's not a smooth, fluid motion like.
Mission objectives accomplished.
Jeez, that was easy. I'll keep invulnerability off unless we get to a point in the game where it's just becoming obnoxious. Like later on when we have to do the final kill raw run or whatever, I'll turn it back on.
Need clearance, TCS Victory.
Excellent work, Colonel. I can see now that your reputation is well deserved.
You're cleared for landing, Colonel.
All those little changes definitely made it a lot smoother. Wow. I think I can do this too. Aha. Yeah. Works. Amazing.
Pretty slick flying, sir.
Thanks, Chief.
Congratulations, old friend.
Yeah, just like old times, huh?
I must say, it certainly felt good to be back out there again. My gratitude for your trust in me is endless.
Forget it, Hobbs. You're back where you belong now.
Good day, sir.
At ease, Lieutenant. Carry on.
Sorry, sir. It's Raquero from the Celeste system. You can tell a lot about a system from its music, you know? Some places it's all minor chords. Makes you just want to run out and do a suicide mission. But this is bright. Heats your blood. Makes you want to live a long life.
Now, are you a pilot, Lieutenant, or a musician?
Oh, I'm a pilot, sir. Pretty good one too, check my kill scores. But my family, they made guitars for many generations. I've got one that's almost 200 years old. The sound just keeps getting richer. Someday, I'm gonna open a cantina and bring in the best to play that guitar. Place for old fighter jacks like you and me.
Well, you better line up some other customers. Might not be many of us left.
Oh yeah, it'll be open to one and all. And me, I'll just sit back, gaze at the beautiful women, and listen to the music.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. It's nice that they'll have guitars in the 27th century.
It's a nice dream, Vaquero. Hang on to it.
You bet, sir. Some of these guys, they actually like the killing. Me? I'll just walk away when this is all over.
Chords. Just playing chords. How many did I get? I got 3? Wow. I got 3. Oh, Cobra.
It's time we talk, Lieutenant.
Ain't much to talk about, sir. You've flown with it, and you both got the job done.
If you're referring to Hobbs...
I can't fly with him, sir.
If you stay on this ship, you'll have to sooner or later.
Don't put me in a position of having to defend him. I won't do it.
Why?
Let's just say I'm hardwired that way, and nothing you do is gonna change that.
Look, I'll try and keep you two separate on offensive assignments.
I'm not asking for special favors.
We need every good pilot we've got, and just so you know, I'd trust Hobbs with my life.
That's your choice.
Anybody up here? Nope. See what I mean? Like, no, there's 3. There's 3 videos. I always save right before the mission.
Let's get started, Colonel.
Yes, sir.
One of our tracking stations report Kilrathi activity in these regions. I'd like you to run a patrol through there, sweep the areas. The station's report is sketchy. You might encounter some sort of Kilrathi cap ship. Go to it, Colonel.
So, these are the mission objectives. Oh, and one last thing.
Keep forgetting to skip that. Oh, okay, here we go. Who should we go with? Let's go down the line. Let's go with Vagabond.
Vagabond, I want you as my wingman. Dismissed, and good luck.
Let's just do a round and round and round and round. Hellcat, what else we got? Thunderbolt, Arrow, Hellcat. I mean, the Thunderbolt is more powerful, but it's also slower. Let's just go with what she recommends each time. Let's get that. Already seen that. Oh. Nothing.
We got company.
Okay.
Break and attack.
Here we go.
And
Break and attack.
Here we go.
oh, this is such a boomer game. I've heard that before. Oh, this is such a boomer, like a boomer shooter. Even though they don't even make games like this anymore, but let's be fair. Boomers, actual baby boomers, actual baby boomers didn't play video games. They do, but it's not as common. They made them They made them for sure, but they didn't play them. Like my parents were actual baby boomers. They were born in the 40s, so they didn't play video games. It's definitely after their time. I mean, they were starting a family at that point. It's just, you know, you get into your 30s and you start a family or whatever. You're not that was for kids. Although they were in their 20s, they had Pong existed.
Need clearance, TCS victory.
Hey, score one for our side, Colonel. You're clear to land.
The carrier is always upside down. I don't know why I don't know why somebody never noticed that. Like every time you go by, I think they may have fixed it in one of the console versions, but it's upside down every time. All right, what does she say?
Hey, Colonel.
Hey.
Pull up a chair.
Nice, Chief.
Let me know if I'm out of line here, but the word is there's a test pilot flying in on one of the new Excaliburs. Is that true?
Our command doesn't tell me everything.
I hope it's true. I can't wait to get my hands dirty with one of those pups.
You really like your job, don't you?
I just hope the test pilot's not some priss who won't let me touch his equipment.
I gotta give it to you. You really get to the point.
Yeah, well, I never really cared much for gray areas. That's why I do what I do. Either an engine part works or it doesn't.
Machines don't lie.
Not as much as people do, anyway.
Should be a little hard on people.
They gotta pass inspection, same as anything else. Of course, I got certain hours for that.
And do we keep this schedule posted, Chief? Do you?
Only for a select few, sir.
I hope the audio comes through okay on this. I have no idea. Still no Flint. That must be the next mission. All right. Save. You never know what could happen.
Ready to get down to business?
Yes, sir.
Confed has a cargo ship loaded with med supplies that must be escorted to this jump point. Now, unfortunately, news of this shipment somehow leaked out. You will undoubtedly come under Karathi attack. Good luck, Colonel.
An escort mission.
So,
All right, we'll do it.
Mikado, I'd like you on my wing for this one. Dismissed.
What'd she give us? An arrow. All right. Let's see if this works. I saved it so I can get back into it. Nope. Does that work? Nope. Nope. None of this works. What is this? Nope. Okay. Supposed to be this. Ah! It worked. Does it work the opposite? Ah! All right. Well, I mean, it looks like it's working okay. Let me log off. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. Wow, this is the actual resolution of the game, like compared to a 1080p monitor. Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm only playing with the cockpit on because that's the way I played it when I first played the game, because I didn't know you could get rid of the damn thing. Until I played Wing Commander 4. And I was disappointed in Wing Commander 4 because you had to watch you had to play without the cockpit. I go with the cockpit, and then I got used to it, and I went back to play this one. And I was like, wow. Let me check something here. Okay. All right. I mean, it's a little bit loud, but
Got those in sight, sir.
Break and attack.
Andale, let's dance.
uh-oh. The game cursed. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Not that I have to worry about monetization at this point anyway, but...
Got those in sight, sir.
Break and attack.
Andale, let's dance.
Yeah, what happens with that? With the YouTube algorithm now, with you can't curse. It's supposed to be within like the first 30 seconds. There it is again. But, I mean... But I've heard people are getting demonetized, even they say it like minutes into the thing. That's right. Gotta wait till the thing reaches the buoy. So this dot, that, well, you can't see me pointing. I don't know why I'm doing that. This dot, that, there it is, the jump buoy. That has to reach that. Ugh. Gaming in 1994. Doesn't have to get right up to it, but it's got to get close enough within like a range or whatever. But you know, for 1994, compared to something.
Thanks for the escort, Colonel. Initiating jump sequence.
Mission objective accomplished.
The average game would have been like, what was really popular in 94 gaming wise would have been like, you know, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis and then the PlayStation, which was really new, and the PlayStation, the first games for the PlayStation were like Twisted Metal and I don't know. I didn't have a PlayStation until 99, I think. I didn't get one.
Need clearance, TCS Victory.
Well, I guess the Colonel's on a roll. You're clear to bring it on home.
GoldenEye's coming out for the Nintendo Switch and Xbox soon. Is it on the Game Pass? Is GoldenEye going to be on the Game Pass? If it is, I might get Game Pass, and I can stream it. Because otherwise, I'd have to get a capture card to do. To do that. All right. Do this for a second. All right, I'm going to. How long have we been on? We've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. All right, so I've been recording for 35 minutes. All right, I just want to grab a beer. That's all. But I can cut this and cut here to where I come back. Things would be better now that I have another beer. Oh, excuse me. Played for the first time 4 years ago, it says. I gotta say, I played this for the first time maybe 40 years ago. No, the game wasn't even out. 1994, I had it on PC. I got this game. Let's see. I got this game. Let's see, go back into it. I got this game in 1994 when I saw it at a Best Buy on 3DO, and I went, "It has Mark Hamill in it. I have to have it. Is it on PC?" And I don't know how I found out. I think I went into a Babbage's. Babbage's, by the way, became Electronic Boutique, which no longer exists, as far as I know. I think there's some in Canada, but there's none up here. So we just have GameStop now, because then Electronic Boutique split off into, and that became EB Games, which is Electronic Boutique, yeah, right? And then some that bought up by GameStop, and then they went into their own whatever. There was another store too, but Babbage's was the one that was in the mall that back then. And I think I saw, and that they saw, it was mostly PC stuff. They didn't have gaming consoles. It was all PC stuff, all PC gaming, kind of like Circuit City back then. And Best Buy too had that stuff. Now you go into a store, they don't even have PC. You can't. Walmart, for some reason, still has PC games. That's but the only place I can think of.
Sir?
They call you Flint, right?
So you have looked at the flight roster.
Are you making a request, Lieutenant?
Sir, I come from a long line of fighter pilots. My brother, my father, his father before him. I guess you could say it's in my blood.
Your point being...
I know your record. I would have at least expected you to take a look at the victories. We've racked up our share of kills. We're not scrubs out here.
Nobody said you were.
Suppose you're afraid I'll peel off the first time we engage.
What about the 20th time? Or the 30th? Will you fatigue even a split second or get a twitchy finger? The wingman I fly with? I need guarantees.
Respectfully, sir, if you only fly when there are guarantees, you won't be flying much.
Well, she has a point. Tough luck. I'm the boss here. Well, she has a point.
I'll go with the top one.
Do you have any recommendations?
Oh, I wouldn't presume to do your job for you, sir. I just work here.
Yeah, I think Best Buy may have carried PC games still today. I don't know, but it's very difficult. And I remember those like you could go and get certain games like towards the end of when they were carrying PC games would have been like the mid like 2005. The World of Warcraft era started coming out. Once everything started getting digital downloads, once everybody basically got like cable cable internet, and it was no longer dial up. That was the end of disc-based gaming, and there was really no point in buying a physical game anymore. But they still make them for consoles and stuff too. But consoles are different because you have limited hard drive space, where with a computer you can get multiple terabytes of drives and everything and delete and reload. It's much easier and faster. But
let's get down to business, shall we?
I'm ready, sir.
Confed civilian transport ship is moving through the Orsini area. She's going to need an escort, especially since intel reports that Karathi are testing a new cloaked missile. Confed has codenamed these new weapons skippers because they apparently skip in and out of cloak every few seconds to maintain contact with their target. Now, you can see them 1 second, then they're gone the next. There are a lot of civilian lives at stake here, Colonel.
I'll do my best, Captain.
I'm sure you will.
this would be a good franchise to obviously reboot as a game.
So, these...
Maniac. I don't know if I want to use him, but I said down the line, so.
Maniac, you're gonna be my wingman. Don't make me regret it. Dismissed, and good luck.
Anyway. Oh, good. Have to have an arrow. Keep up with those missiles. What was I gonna say? This would be a great franchise to reboot. Not only as a game, but as a movie, as a TV series. Not that movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard. Although I liked it because it's Wing Commander, whatever. But I mean, there are parts of it that aren't bad, and it's one of those movies so bad it's good. But just with the sensibilities of the way they make movies today, I just think that a new Wing Commander, and the technology, the special effects tech, is just so much more accessible. That a movie or a TV show would be great. I mean, with the money that Star Citizen has generated, I mean,
Break and attack.
they could make a hell of a series. Put it on Paramount Plus. Oh, that's Star Trek too. You can't put it on Disney Plus. Well, but it is Fox, so I mean Disney owns Fox now, right? So and they're the ones that distributed Wing Commander movie. So. But with Star Wars, they're probably they just kill it because they want to keep the Star Wars money coming in. But I mean, like. This is the element of the Star Wars franchise that I liked. I hope they make that Squadrons movie. Or maybe even make it a show instead of a movie. Because that's what I always liked about Star Wars, was the X-Wings and all the TIE fighters and all the space battles and stuff. I mean, in the early days of Star Wars, the 80s and the 90s, when Star Wars was incredibly kind of, I shouldn't say, it was mainstream, but it wasn't as mainstream as it is today. Star Trek was the main thing back then. Star Trek Next Generation, then DS9, Voyager, and all that stuff in the 80s and 90s, and Babylon 5, Andromeda, Farscape, Firefly, you know. And then on video games, it was this, Wing Commander, and the X-Wing. The X-Wing series. X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, and then later Rogue Squadron for Nintendo 64. So it was never really Jedi-based games. Even Dark Forces was a first-person just shooter because of Doom, but it was you were a stormtrooper kind of defecting to the rebellion. And then Jedi Knight, the first Jedi Knight game, which is really, really dated and hard to play. It's easy, but it plays like an older shooter where you have to run around and find the keys and get to the doors. It's okay. The best of that series was definitely Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy, the later two, when Raven took over production. Or did they do the first? They may have done the first two. I don't know. But yeah, those were good. But that was in the technology really wasn't around until the early 2000s to really do the Jedi fighting stuff. So of course it's much easier to program just nothing, space, it's empty, right? And move around and just have objects like this flying around. But that was what Star Wars primarily was. The Jedi stuff was kind of backstory and afterthought. It wasn't the main concern. It was the rebellion. It was the
Mission objective accomplished.
It was the rebellion versus the Empire, right? And that kind of was the appeal. And then the prequels came out, and it's all Jedi stuff and very little space battle stuff. And
need clearance, TCS Victory.
Good news, Colonel. As soon as you land, we're jumping to the Tomeo system, which is reported to be kitty-free. And we got the cush job of assisting with the Excalibur test flights.
Which I guess, and the sequels, love them or hate them, they're they balanced it out fairly well, I guess. It was kind of more the same pacing as the original trilogy. And there was definitely more space combat stuff than the prequels. The prequels had barely any of it at all. And so every time there's some sort of like space like fighter like space fighter combat stuff, it's always gets compared to Star Wars, and it's like, well, that's not really fair because unless except for the original movies, there wasn't much, and it's really just the end sequence of Jedi and the end sequence of A New Hope. I guess you could consider Hoth, sort of. It's on a planet, though. Doesn't count.
Colonel. Which way to the bridge? Confed's expecting my tech debriefing.
I caught some of the incoming radio, Major. How long have you carried that flash handle?
Since my first day at Academy. I don't think you should ever apologize for sporting a little style. That baby's still classified, folks. You think you could keep your people at bay a while, Colonel?
Christopher Blair.
Ah, I read about you back when I was flying with training wheels. Is it true pilots don't get older, they just get better?
This kid's a smartass. That's true. This kid's a smartass. Only the good ones. We'll see if anyone reads about you someday.
That guy's in some sort of new show too, or he was some. I don't remember. But yeah, he went up in his career. Everyone else kind of like disappeared. Didn't really do too much acting wise. They either got typecast or whatever. Typecasting really isn't much of a thing anymore. It used to be a big problem. And people, it's funny, people have taken acting lessons and stuff, and people in acting classes, and people in acting classes like get, I don't want to be typecast. It's like, you're not type anything right now. You're nobody. I'd rather be typecast than nothing at all.
They ought to shoot that kid, you ask me. At least strap him to one of my thrusters on the next mission.
As usual, Maniac, your solution to the problem is brainless.
Well, any chance I get, I'm up in the air. I mean, they're going to have to pry my dead carcass out of the cockpit.
Oh, stop banging your chest. You're going to bruise it. The Colonel will deal with him.
Oh, look, the Colonel is a spineless...
I wouldn't finish that sentence if I were you, Major.
We were just speculating on when the new pilot might pull his own weight.
Uh-huh. They're right. Well, one way or another, we'll find out what Flash is made of. I guarantee you that.
Does he pat you like that?
Yeah, it's funny how saying like actors will do that. It's like, I mean, man, if I could do that for a living, play in video games or cheap Netflix B movies and make a living doing that, I wouldn't complain about being typecast. I mean, you say that now, the thing you get conditioned with these things, right? You know, seems great at first, then you get it, and then you get used to it, and then you want more, and then you keep going, and it's like, yeah, I get it, but it's just like, keep things in perspective. There's a sequence, an outtake to that scene that just happened too, where after Mark Hamill walks away, he goes, "Isn't that the guy from Star Wars?" Funny.
I wish they wouldn't send me these Academy hotshots.
Youth and wisdom are rarely combined, Captain.
It's still your ship, Captain.
He answers only to Admiral
Ooh,
Talwin.
look at those pixels.
Colonel, we're under attack. Launch all fighters. Red alert! Red alert! Launch all fighters! Launch all fighters! This is not a drill! This is not a drill!
It's so funny, full motion videos looked so terrible back then, but yet back then we looked at it like, it's a video on a computer. Wow. Even though it doesn't even look that good. It didn't look good back. It looks the same. It doesn't look any worse now. It's just it looks exactly as I remember it. But I played this game periodically throughout the years. It's not like something I'm revisiting. every couple of years I get the like, oh, I want to revisit that. It's just always been a staple in my life. The first two games for me, the Wing Commander 3 and 4. Prophecy, meh. To me, Prophecy was overly difficult, and I didn't like the fact that they took away the video choices. And the choices during the videos. And you weren't playing as Colonel Blair anymore, you were playing as Casey or whatever. Which, whatever, I get it. But the graphics for the time were a step up in a certain degree. And the combat felt really good. And everything. It's definitely better than it is a 60 frames per second versus this is locked at 24 because they were trying to go for I think there were limitations of the there was a certain degree of limitations of the system, but they could have at least shot for 30. But they went with 24 because it was trying to be cinematic. Even though the videos are shot in 30 frame in like video, it's like the shot at 60 frames per second, and they slowed it, halved it, I think, 30 or whatever. Tried to make it 24, but you can tell it's not film. You can tell it's digital video or VHS or whatever they filmed it with, DV or Beta or whatever. It wasn't VHS. They never filmed anything professional with VHS. That I'm aware of. And then, but the next one in Wing Commander 4, it's actually 35 millimeter film.
Need clearance, TCS Victory.
Looks like Tamayo ain't as peaceful as HQ thought, huh? Big surprise. You're clear to land. By the way, supposedly we got the best fighter in the galaxy and all it did was collect dust on the flight deck? Flashman just set out that firefight in the barracks.
Whoa. Yeah.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm waking up now, sir.
Didn't you hear that scramble alarm?
Yeah, it woke me up for a minute.
We were under attack, for God's sakes!
My talents won't be wasted on your little skirmishes.
Yeah, well, people were dying out there, you son of a bitch.
It's a war. People die all the time.
You've never seen it, have you?
Seen what?
Never seen pilots, people you know, getting fried in their own cockpit?
I do my part for Confed.
I don't think I've ever met anyone as frightened as you.
You think what you want. I've got my orders.
Yeah. And you'll find refuge in that just as long as you can.
Okay. Oh, Rachel.
That Excalibur's one hell of a ship. But just like I figured, there's a real dick on the other end of the leash.
What, he's not letting you do your job?
These loving hands, I can tweak anything and make it run a little better.
Of course, and a little grease never hurt.
Maybe he doesn't need me now, but there's gonna come a time when he's flying a paste and glue special, and then see what kind of servicing he gets. I bet you'd like to take her out for a shakedown spin. You know, if you swing by at the right time, you just might find the key in the ignition.
Whew. I'd love to fly that ship.
Hmm.
Stay clear of trouble. Whew. I'd love to fly that ship.
I always fly.
It's been a long time since I've done any joyriding.
Well, then you owe it to yourself.
First time I played it, I didn't fly the Excalibur. Well, I did at first, and then I kept losing. Once I figured out, like, I'd get to this mission, I'd get past the skip miss mission. I'd be like, oh, you got to kill the skip miss. I always lose, and then I'd get to this mission. And then I'd get to that point, and then I would I always die. And then I would get to, and then I eventually, like, I took the longbow, because that's what you end up with if you don't take the Excalibur. Only it changes like one video sequence after this, after the mission, but ultimately it doesn't change anything story-wise. Because this is the only time you get to fly the Excalibur until close to the end of the game, and it comes back, and you can do it. You can use it later.
Come in, Colonel. We have to move quickly on this. The only reason we aren't under attack right now is because the Karathi have bigger fish to fry. They've targeted Tamayo too. Their transports are already moving in. Now, if you and your wing can cut through the fighter cover, we might have a shot of destroying those transports. Now, we're going to need a lot of firepower, and we're going to need it fast. Scramble everybody. I want those flight decks empty.
Right away, sir.
Up, seat. Stacking of chairs.
You'll never guess what's gassed up and ready to go.
Ooh. I don't want it. Yeah, well. Oh, it's gone now. Ooh, well, let's take a look. Ooh. Look at that. Such an old game. I wonder why they don't remaster this. Is in EA's, like, you know, library or whatever. They just remaster it. Make like a collection remaster. Probably not enough people know about it or remember it, and there's plenty of fans out there that would buy it. But yeah, there's this part where you have to destroy the cap ships, and they tell you in the mission you have to. He just says destroy everything, and I went, oh, I have to destroy everything. So I would just, it'll let you autopilot with cap ships if the dots aren't red on the red dots are fighters and the orange dots are the cap ships, and you can skip, you can autopilot out if it's just a cap ship, but you have to destroy them in this mission. If you don't, if you miss something and you skip it, you'll lose the mission, and then you'll go right to the ending sequence where you'll lose the whole game, and then you'll have to start the whole over from the beginning, or, you know, reload your save file. If you didn't save, though, you got screwed. Thank you. And there goes a cap ship. Boom. All right. It's still satisfying even 30 years later. Wow, 30 years. Almost 30 years. Be 30 years next year. 30th anniversary, Wing Commander. Hey, man. This is it. This is the part. Just has to tell you mission objectives accomplished. You don't have to get all of them. I believe you just have to get the first 3.
Mission objectives accomplished.
But I like to get them all. Got 3, might as well get 4. Gotta love it.
Need clearance, TCS Victory.
Now we know what that machine can really do. You're
Colonel.
Land, Colonel.
Upside down, always, always upside down. See?
think Confed wants some old man risking their state-of-the-art test vehicles, huh?
Where do you learn to spew all this crap? Doesn't the Academy teach kids to fly anymore?
Listen, old-timer, I don't have to take this from you. I think it's time to teach you a lesson. Meet me at the simulator at 0900 and we'll see who knows how to fly.
This punk's not worth it.
If you do that, he's gone for the rest of the game. If you do this,
Time to teach this punk a lesson.
you get him as a wingman. If you win, of course, the simulator battle.
On one condition. If you lose, you put in for a transfer to combat pilot status. Aboard the Victory.
If that'll make you feel better. I'd ask you to shine my shoes if I win, but I like my shoes too much.
I guess you two are itching to go at each other.
Well, sir, I just got...
As a rule, I'm not too big on these needless displays of macho crap. You're taking a big risk morale-wise. And if you lose, you won't be too popular around here, so I'm gonna give you a word of advice, Colonel. Kick the little twerp's ass.
Yes, sir.
So geared towards kids, as you can tell. But hey, it's still fun no matter what. Oh, okay. Here we go. Should I save it? Nah, I'm good.
Okay, here we go. I promise I'll make this as quick as possible.
Ditto.
You win, Colonel. I'll talk to Eisen first thing in the morning.
I mean, it is on Rookie, so I don't expect too much.
Guess we got ourselves another combat pilot, but it's a whole nother thing fighting the Karathi out there.
But I beat it on Ace. I was 10 years old, but I did it. Or I might have been 11, 10 or 11. John Rhys Davies and Tim Curry. The voices of the Kilrathi.
Tell me this system continues to be worth reading. I fail to see it. The natural resources are utterly depleted.
Tim Curry.
It remains a source of slave labor, but the population has never been particularly malleable. Slaves we have no shortage of. The Terrans want this system, they shall have it. Nevertheless, my liege, I bristle at the thought of they will call it. Oh, what is that strange word they have? Surrender. No, it is not that. This system shall serve as a message to the apes. Since it is no longer of use to us, we shall render it useless to them as well. As always, my liege, a wise choice.
The problem with this series, this franchise, is really, really difficult to do evil alien cats as the bad guys. It just looks stupid. It works in the game, I guess, sort of, but, and to be fair, it works better than the movie did. But they could make they could kind of go in the direction they did with the movie and kind of make it like feline, evolved from felines or something like. I don't know. That's the hardest thing is the bad guy is just really dumb.
Colonel, I'd like to apologize for some of the things I said.
Some?
Well, I still think I could have beat you 2 out of 3.
Care to go at it again?
Nah. From now on, I'll prove it to you out there. That is, if you figure I'm good enough to be your wingman.
You're on the roster. You'll get your shot, same as everyone.
Thank you.
Mr. Humble. When I first heard that, he's like, I could have beat you 2 out of 3. Care to go at it again? I'm like, no, because I had to do it like so many times over, and I didn't realize you could change the difficulty back then. Oh, more Cobra.
Colonel, you know the Kiorathi may be using bioweapons here.
First I've heard of it.
Kiorath has been preparing these kind of weapons for years. If they're not deployed here, they will be somewhere else.
Would you mind telling me how it is you know so much about the Kilrathi?
It doesn't matter if you believe me.
She knows something. Well, that's where you're wrong. It does matter. It's just that someday I'd like to get the rest of the story.
Oh, more flint.
I flew here once. A lot of places to hide in this system. This your first time?
This is my home system. My father taught me everything he knew about flying here. He'd been planning to pass it all on to my brother, but Kilrathi had other plans.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Everyone's lost someone, right? They don't give you medals for it.
You haven't been back since? Well, which one was home?
That one.
Well, that one.
It was a beautiful world. Dark purple nights and burnt moons that chased each other across the sky. The insects would sing, different serenades depending on how close the moons were. Yeah. My brother and I would stay up listening. Do you remember the time before the war?
I don't let myself.
Sir, I have scores to settle here. I can't be on the sidelines for these engagements. I need to be part of what goes down.
Give her a shot. I can't risk it with her. Give her a shot. Flint, when you fly, are you going to be my wingman or your brother's wingman?
I'm so happy that those tweaks to the config file fix those video glitches. So annoying. Alright. Well, I mean, that's kind of where I stopped before. So since it's working and I don't foresee my setup changing anytime soon, I am going to call it right here. Wing Commander 3 Part 1. And we'll be able to do Part 2 soon. So, while you sleep, they will be waiting. They'll be waiting. While you sleep, they'll be waiting. All right. Cool. So, stop recording. I want to see how much storage. Did that take up a lot? Nah. It was nothing. How much did that take up? Like average space. 4 gig. 4 gig for that. That's an MKV file. That's the OBS stuff. And whatever this was. The recording when I tried to record. And then my gas stove rant. I think that was that. Or this was the gas stove. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. All right, I think we're good for now. I'm trying to keep these streams on the shorter side so I don't get like 6-7 hours and we just kind of do what we do and that's it and that's that and let's see, own games. Does this even work? I'm curious. It supposedly works. Let's see if it works. Installed. Oh, it's going to take up so much space. It's like a document file. No, not even. It's like a tiny little audio file. Wow. Oh, man. It's like nothing. see if it works. Single player. Multiplayer. I don't think that's working. Okay. Let's try that one. Oh, crap. I remember that. I vaguely remember this game. Oh, yeah. 3D Realms. Does Duke Nukem work on a Mac? Maybe. Oh my god. I remember this. You know, I went to a Star Trek convention once and they tried to like rip this game off as like virtual reality. You turn your head and didn't do anything. It was just a headset with playing a standard 2D game. Such a joke. Oh my god. Ugh, looks horrible. What am I looking at? So Jesus. Okay. Alright, can we play now? Jeez. Ooh. Wow. Enium. That's so funny. Oh, the 2250, that explains that. Oh, they won't let you. Oh, weird. It just goes up in bright. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit better quality. That's a higher frequency. So yeah, the 22. All right. Control options. Gamepad joystick. Oh crap. Alright. Go easy. I will always go with Maverick since it's Top Gun and Wing Commander. Oh crap. They never do that. Alright, what should we call him? Blair. Maverick. I remember this. Oh my god. Whew. I have no idea how... Oh wow, that's a map, okay. That slows down. Firing. Whoa, okay. That's, I mean, it moves pretty good considering how old it is. It's fun. It's arcadey, but it's fun. Afterburner. How do you use it? Oh, that button. I figured. Oh, wow. Okay, so that slows down. This speeds up. Alright. Shield restore. Like Descent or one of those games, you know. Whoa, wrong button. Oh man. There we go. I don't even know what we're supposed to be doing. Oh. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Alright. Yeah, this is kind of fun. This is nonsensical. Oh wait, oh yeah! I remember this. My God, ah! Ooh. Shield restored. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just following the dots. Guess I head north. Ooh, a gun. Mission complete. Okay. So what do I do? No idea what to do if you win. Or lose. I'm out of ammo. I'm out of afterburner. No. Oh, here we go. Something like this. Oh yeah, now I remember. It's been a while. I haven't played this game since it was a thing. Since it came out. Like 90 something? 1990s. Yeah. Oh, 1996, I think. Something like that. 97. Very simple. There's a Microsoft game called Fury 3. Very much the same thing. I don't know which one's better. Kind of the same thing. Fury 3 is probably a little bit better, but maybe basically the same. This was the more, I think this was the more popular one for some reason. Probably because it wasn't Microsoft. Back then, Microsoft was like what Apple is now. Apple was the underdog, and anything that wasn't made by Microsoft was considered cool. It's just like anything that wasn't Nintendo was cool. If you were Sega or PlayStation. Same thing. Common problem with people. Oh, it's super popular, so I hate it. Hipster mentality. It's so stupid. It's like it is. It's either you like it or you don't. Whatever. You don't like it. Don't engage with it. Don't buy it. Don't play it. Then don't complain and make fun of other people who do happen to enjoy it. I mean, I say that, but then I rail on pop music all the time. So, but music, I think, is a different thing. There's so much content when it comes to music compared to other things. Video games specifically are relatively new in the medium, in the world of media and arts and entertainment compared to music. Music's one of the earliest forms of arts and entertainment next to actual painting, or literature. Music probably is before literature. It's we were making sounds with our mouths and hitting sticks on objects long before we were writing. Long before whatever the first form of literature was, what, the Epic of Gilgamesh or Iliad or something, I don't know. Whoa! Gilgamesh. As you can see, it's just repetitive, same shit over and over again. Oh, I swore. That's a great thing about starting a new channel. It's like if you want to swear, just start a channel that's nobody knows about. A new channel, you're not monetized anyway, so it doesn't matter. Christ, goddammit, George, swear. Oh. It is kind of fun, though. I gotta admit, it's been a while. Where's my weapon upgrades, man? Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Oh, that's okay. Wow, there's a lot of fighters. Mission complete. Is that afterburner fuel? I want to say that's afterburner fuel, but I thought that was shield before. And what's this? Oh, doesn't compute. Oop, went the wrong way. Ah, there it is. There it is. There it is. I have no idea how many missions there are in this. No clue. Oh, it still does the same thing. That's weird. Still does the same exact thing. I have no idea. Nano, nano, nano. Alright. Does it save it though? I have no idea. I guess. Oh, restore game. Didn't save. Well, how do you save it? Didn't save. No. Episode Heavy Fire? Alright, whatever. Okay. I don't know if I've ever played this part. Nope. Yeah, I don't think I have. Maybe part of it. That's the same stuff. So how do you save it? Yes. Instructions. Maybe I should have read the instructions. Weapon select. Ah. F2, save game. Oops. Didn't save it. Huh. Yeah. Well, whatever. I'll figure it out. I'm sure there's a tutorial somewhere online. What else do we have that's Mac only? What is this? No. I don't think. It was one of those free things I got when I signed up. Wing Commander 1. Yeah, that's not happening. I tried. To be fair, I tried. We can try. I can try this. 1993. Was this 93? 94. A year later. Supposedly the Mortal Kombats work, but I could never get them. I could never play with a controller. I could never get it to work with a controller. If I could, I'd totally play those. Especially Mortal Kombat 2. Might work on the Mac, though. Maybe. If I plug in like a PlayStation 4 controller or 5 or something, it might work. I don't know. Oh, maybe. I have to look it up. Rebel Assault. Oh well. I'm stuff to do at least. Cool. I thought I did this already. Yeah, I did this. Why is it not? Okay. So, I am going to end the stream here, and we'll flip those things.